try to squeeze in as many of your questions as we can in our content. So really quick side note, if you've got questions that's related to any type of food business, food entrepreneurship, or specifically spices, as I have here a list of questions from you guys, definitely let us know down below in the comments section. And of course, if you have launched your own spice business, let us know some of the ups and downs you may have already faced or some of the challenges that you need us to help you address. We'll do our best to try to create some great resources here in our videos to help you out. So let's dive into these multiple questions. So I've got a list here. The first one is from Chris Springer. Thank you, Chris, for asking this question. How do I start a spice business from home? Now, this is a question that we actually get emailed quite often. We haven't really touched, to be honest with you, specifically on starting a spice business from home. Most of the videos that we've actually created about selling spices online and creating a spice business, but there's a lot of you who are either passionate about spices or maybe you just want to try it out, but you don't want to invest a lot of money. Believe it or not, you can actually sell spices from home. Most every state that, from my understanding of cottage food laws, which is pretty in-depth, every state allows to some extent spice blends, spice seasonings, or dry seasoning or dry herb blends. That's however they word it. But most every state does that. So how do I start one business from home? First thing you want to do, Chris, is check with your state. Of course, unfortunately, I didn't get the state. I don't know how I got your name here, but I didn't get the state of where you're from. Check with your state. And by the way, here on our channel, there's a good likelihood that we have your state's cottage food video rundown. You can definitely check that where we give you a list of the types of products that you can make. But it is the best thing to do is starting a spice business from home. And I'll tell you why. Because number one, most of what you need to prepare and prep your products, tables, potentially an oven for drying or roasting or something, countertops, bowls, mixing spoons, you've already got that. So cottage food laws really allow you to create these types of businesses from home. And a spice business is something that can be started for much, much less than what you might think of, like renting a commercial kitchen, building out an entire facility, mixing and blending, going a commercial route right off the bat, which is a big risk and challenge because if you don't have proof of concept or if you're starting a new spice line of products or new spice blends, but you've never sold them, you probably don't want to invest $20 or $30 or $50,000 in a commercial kitchen and do all of that before you actually have proof of your concept. So doing it from home under the cottage food laws really truly actually gives you an opportunity to make a low investment from home and get your business up and running. So how do I start the spice business from home? Number one, you want to, of course, check your law, right? Number two, you want to come up with a spice business name, of course. You want to check also into getting a business license, okay? And also business insurance. Yes, you do need to get some type of business insurance policy. Your homeowner's insurance policy, 99.9% of the time, does not protect your business. You need to get a separate policy that has nothing to do with your homeowner's insurance policy. That's a misconception a lot of people have about starting from home. So you want to get that as well. You want to create a logo. You want to create your packaging. Figure out how is it you want to bottle it, maybe bag it. Whatever it is that you want to do with your spice business, how are you going to present that to your customers? So you want to kind of create that and finalize it. Now, if you get a logo made for you, you want to submit that and get it trademarked. You want to make sure that you've got protection yourself. You want to protect your logo and trademark. So you want to submit the application to the USPTO office. That's the United States Patent and Trademark Office. It is crucial that you do that early because trademarks can take anywhere from 6 to 8 months or even longer to get a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So apply for your trademark as soon as possible. It's definitely something you want to look forward to. Pricing, you want to look at how much it costs for your packaging, your label, and your product. Don't necessarily factor in labor just yet. And the reason why I say that is if you're doing it yourself, you're starting that business from scratch, right? You want to do that yourself. You're not going to really be paying yourself right off the bat. It's kind of a side business, side hustle. You want to test it out and see how it works. When you begin to have employees, you begin to have more people on board, then you can factor in the cost for labor and such. But at first, your most crucial things are your ingredients, label, and packaging. Okay? So starting that spice business from home, I highly recommend if you want to go that route. We appreciate that question. Take small steps. Do not make big investments financially until you can see some momentum. Begin to sell them at farmers markets. Some states, by the way, I don't know what state again, Chris, you're in, but some states actually allow you to sell to retail stores, even restaurants. So you can sell your spice blends to grocery stores. You can sell them to restaurants or cafes that might even put them in their dishes. There's a lot of different ways that you can sell them. If not, you can do farmers markets, you can do local events. So there's a lot of good ways to do that. Second question, is the spice business profitable? This is a question from the Food Guy 200. Food Guy 200, thank you. Is the spice business profitable? Yes, it is. The average spice margin profit, roughly, of course, this is just an average across the board. I have seen in excess between 30 and 40%. Depending upon a lot of factors, of course, the cost of your packaging, the cost of your labels come in big play with that, how the profitability. Are you buying spices pre-made in a blend? That'll cut down on labor costs down the road, of course. That'll cut down on time. It is much more profitable if you can buy them pre-made in bulk, put them in bags and slap your name on it and then just sell it. Because that's also going to maintain the price point of those ingredients. If you have a blend, let's say a spice blend, and you're looking for profitability, and I'll give you an example. You got a spice blend that's got 5, 6 different types of ingredients, different herbs and spices. And you get this from one guy, you get these 2 from another supplier, and this from another. Those are all variable prices that could go up and down. If it's garlic, if it's oregano, if it's thyme, if it's basil, whatever it is. And if you have a fluctuation in those prices and they keep going up and down, it's going to be hard to manage profitability, because if you're getting them sourced from different locations, that's very difficult. So the question is, if you can get pre-made stuff, it's going to be always, hey, 5 pounds of this, $100, 10 pounds of this, $150, whatever it may be, but it's always pretty level. So keeping it profitable, yes, you could do that. Don't have multiple vendors pulling from different places, because the prices could just go up and down all the time. So yes, Food Guy, spice profitability, spice business are very profitable, especially when you can build a brand and then eventually get into retail stores and you're mass producing it. It can become extremely profitable. I actually saw an article, a husband and wife started a spice business from home. They're actually in Florida. And they grew it to a $10 million a year business. They have this huge facility. I think it's in West Palm Beach. I may be wrong. But I read the story online, and I would love to actually interview them and do an interview here on Marketing Food with them. But as a husband and wife team that literally started a couple different spice blends or something in their kitchen, they grew it locally, but then they went to like retail stores and like they're everywhere. I'll have to do a video about them. But yes, they do $10 million a year. So how much does it cost to start a seasoning business? Stephanie Wilcox. Okay, so how much does it cost to start a seasoning business? That is a really good question. It's difficult to answer that because it's based on a lot of variables. If you're starting again from home, your investment will be considerably less, because like I mentioned before in the first question, you don't have a lot of other factors to deal with. Building out a facility, getting inspections, having large amount of insurance because you've got a commercial facility and not your home. The cost to start a seasoning business, to be honest with you, a small scale home-based seasoning business, you can easily start for about $2,000, maybe $3,000 or $4,000 at the most. Some people start very small, even with about $1,000, and get a couple spice blends or what have you, hit some local farmers markets and test it out. But you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't need $50,000. It's not like starting a food truck or even a restaurant. Getting a food seasoning spice business up and running at home, considerably cheaper. And definitely another thing about that, Stephanie, is you won't, if you happen to not, it doesn't work out, you won't lose a ton of money because you've only invested a couple grand or so, which is really not a lot. But investing and getting up and running, you can potentially do this for just a couple of $1,000s, because think about it. If you want to choose 3 different spice blends, source them from your supplier. Okay, you can get 10, 15, 20 pounds. That's it, right? Pre-made, get your bags. You can print your own labels. Here on Marketing Food Online, I've got videos to show you how to make your own labels for pennies. So you've got your packaging, your labels, and you got your spices. You're not buying $10, $20, $30,000 worth of seasoning or spices. So how much does it cost to get it up and running? Very minuscule. You know, if you wanted to go the route of 10 or 20 grand, you got the money, go ahead. But you don't necessarily need to do that. So next one up, do spices need FDA approval? So this is from Jen Stringer. Jen asked this question about the FDA being approved. So do spices need FDA approval? Yes and no. And here's what I mean by that. The FDA creates guidance and guidelines of what they expect to be on food-produced products, including spices. They have guidance and guidelines on what the label needs to be on those packaging, okay? You need to follow those guidelines, obviously, and abide by it. But the other thing is when you begin to produce it in a commercial setting, this is a little tricky because home-based food businesses fall under cottage food laws, which local government agencies, if you have to have a health department inspection, they're going to inspect your home if they need to. The FDA doesn't necessarily inspect anybody's home, but if you're in a commercial setting, you're mass producing any type of food product that is produced, warehouse, stored, distributed, mass produced, production, any of that sort, that kind of manufacturing, that facility does have to have registration with the FDA. It's food facility registration. It's known as, yes, you do have to do that. But it's not necessarily, as you word your question, getting approval from them. It's more or less getting that facility registered with them, yes. Following the guidance they set forth for labeling, yes. So That's definitely something to think about. But again, when you're starting from home, like I mentioned, cottage food law is much, much different, okay? Now, which spice is most profitable? That's a great question. This is from Benjamin. Ben, thank you for the question. Which spice is most profitable? Well, there's a lot of variables when it comes to buying certain spices and making them. It's going to be dependent upon your profitability is going to be dependent upon how cheap and inexpensive you can get those spices that you need, and are you blending them? To be honest with you, in my opinion, being in the food industry as long as I have been, I would say pre-blended or pre-made bulk spices that are done are going to be most profitable. Here's why. As I mentioned before, if you're sourcing multiple different ingredients or herbs or blends from different places, that could potentially increase the cost of your product. If you're getting a single source from one company that has a pre-blended mix that you just buy 10 or 20 or 30 pound bag, scooping it out, putting it in a bag, sealing it, and selling it, your potential for highly profitable is going to fall better on that than it would if you're actually sourcing it and making yourself. So I would definitely look into getting pre-blended spices and simply breaking them down. Thanks for asking that, Ben. Next one up and last one. From Charles Lampert, he actually asked, can I sell spices from home? Yes. So can I sell spices from home? Yes, Charles, you actually can. Double check with your state specifically. Most of the states that I'm aware of in the US allow dry herb blends and dry herb mixes. So look into specifically your state. But yes, you can sell them from home. And even in some states, believe it or not, which is really, really cool, is that they're now beginning to allow you to sell online and ship your product, ship your spices throughout the state that you're in. Not necessarily interstate sales, they don't do that just yet, but definitely do allow you to sell spices within your state and even ship them through your own website, which is actually really cool. Now, the other cool thing, Charles, just to let you know, some people they have a business model, and I've talked about this here on Marketing Food Online, where you can actually sell spices and have it made or produced for you. You don't take possession of it at your home, but you operate your business through your laptop at home, some home office, but they ship the product to like Amazon Fulfillment, or they ship it to a third-party fulfillment center, and you can actually ship them all over the country and operate a business that way because you're not making the spice at home. You have a co-packer or a private label make it for you and put it in the facility. You just need to maintain the inventory. Now, that's something you might want to think about too, because that opens up a lot of big doors. So these are some great questions on how to get a spice business started. I'm going to start a series of these on our podcast, of course, here. You can check out the links to our podcast. You can listen to us on the go. But we're going to have a variety of these Q&A questions, so please let me know if you have questions about anything. We're going to start compiling the questions and then just basically answering them here on our channel. So if this was helpful, do give us a big thumbs up. I hope you get a chance to hear our podcast. All right, so if you want to know